Of all the ways to make money and be stupidly rich, faith is one of the most profitable gigs in every country. From mega-rich televangelists in the US to billionaire bishops and prophets in the developing countries of Africa, the scheme is always the same. They convince people to donate money to their lifestyle in the name of God and leave thousands of poor people in the congregation living in debt and abject poverty. Today we are going to look inside the life of the richest pastors. Paul Adefarasin, Nigeria. Pastor Paul Adefarasin is a Nigerian preacher who makes this list. He is quite an interesting character. Every year he hosts Africa's largest Christian music concert. He spends thousands of dollars to invite famous Christian musicians from the US and other nations. These artists perform for a crowd of over 20,000 people at a time. What is bankrolling this grand project, and who exactly is funding it? Adefarasin has a significant standing in Nigeria, with a net worth of around $12 million. Born into wealth, he built his fortune even as a man of the cloth. He has a loyal group of followers who generously gift him. In 2015, he was gifted a Mercedes G-Wagon as a birthday present on his 52nd birthday. He also owns a Range Rover Vogue valued at over $226,000. Much of his teachings center around prosperity, and his churches cater to the elite, because clearly, saving souls is an expensive business. Jesse Duplantis USA. This man wakes up one day to tell thousands of his followers that God said he would give him a $54 million Dassault Falcon 7X private jet to travel the world and preach the gospel. Yet he wouldn't wait for it to be delivered to him by mail order through heaven's post office. Instead, he convinced them to contribute the lump sum to gift him, and they would be blessed. And guess what? It was his fourth private plane, showing how much financial backing he had. He is a strong, give and get rich preacher. At least what he preaches like some spiritual money doubler promising thousands of returns like a Solana meme coin. His church produces an annual revenue of about $6.2 million. As a result of such practices, this man has a total net worth of about $20 million, a garage filled with luxury cars worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a mansion worth over $3.3 million spanning around 22,000 square feet on God's green earth. Webert Angel, Zimbabwe. If you ever need someone to forecast the next 5 seconds of your life and still get it wrong, Zimbabwean prophet Webert Angel is your guy. But man, this guy performs miracles that could make Jesus envious. His acts range from commanding thousands of dollars to being credited to church members during live services. He also frequently airdrops miracle valuables like diamonds and gold. He convinces people that his success works by flaunting his wealth. He is both a businessman and a pastor with a British passport, bringing the best of his strategies into church business. He preaches that financial and material gain is the divine will of everyone who, yes, brings some cash into his account as a spiritual figure, and they will receive grace for financial breakthrough. On the business side, he has opened around 20 companies, including a bank that has folded despite church members making deposits, a television station, and an energy drink company. His assets include his real estate agency, many books on making money, and the church. With a net worth about $60 million, he owns luxury cars, private jets, and expensive homes. He once bought a 2020 Lamborghini Aventador worth $400,000 in the UK, adding to his collection of luxury cars, including a Rolls-Royce and a $200,000 Bentley Coupe. His total collection is thought to be about 47 cars. The man's running a dealership of vehicles that only he can drive. Hinn USA. Hinn is based in the US and is one of the wealthiest pastors in the country. He recently admitted that he had manipulated people to fund his lifestyle. He also confessed that his teachings on money using the Bible were wrong. The same goes for the false prophecies he gave. This confession came many decades too late. He had been teaching these ideas for over 40 years and had become super wealthy from them. He is $60 million rich and owns a Gulfstream private jet for his vacations. That's not his only jet though. He also owns 4 properties in Florida worth about $5.1 million or more. Despite his confession, he did not choose to denounce, sell, or give away his assets. These were purchased with the money donated by people who trusted him. This is typical of a religious fraud who struggles to genuinely apologize for his wrongdoings. Forgiveness seems unlikely in this case. He has faced ongoing controversy in court cases, which could cost him over $15 million if he loses. This is the kind of karma we like for guys like him. A Napoleon Bonaparte ending in exile. Enoch, Adebayo, Nigeria. Enoch Adebayo heads one of Nigeria's most prominent church networks. His branches are located barely 10 blocks from each other in almost every city in Nigeria. These branches send some form of remittance to the main church where he presides. His church, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, is prominent globally. It boasts about 11 million followers worldwide. His total net worth is approximately $110 million million, of which around $2 million comes from his churches annually. His most cherished car is the $500,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom. He co-owns it with some prominent men in Nigeria, known for its relatively high poverty rate. He also reportedly owns a G-Class Mercedes worth about $100,000. His church owns an expensive private university that generates millions of dollars annually. Even at 82, he remains among the wealthiest African pastors. Talk about some old money. Pat Robertson USA. Pat Robertson was a wealthy American pastor whose wealth was almost dumbfounding. Known as the founder of the 700 Club, a popular Christian TV show, he was rumored to own a massive 11,000 square foot luxury retreat worth $4.25 million. This building is part of a sprawling estate of about 27 acres in Virginia. He patented his name, monetizing anything bearing it. At the time of his passing, he was said to be worth around $1 billion, with numerous charities. He also owned Regent University, a private Christian institution where most parents are devoted givers, but can't afford to send their kids. Several attempts have been made to reveal his true worth, but he has denied each time. Robertson was once thought to have business dealings with Liberia's president, Charles Taylor, involving a multi-million-dollar gold mining contract. Simultaneously, he solicited donations to provide medical supplies to refugees in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which were suspected to be a cover for his covert diamond mining operations. His net worth is reported to be about $120 million. However, you wouldn't be far off if you believe he might have been worth over $800 million, or close to $1 billion. This man owned a diamond and gold mine while his followers barely had a carat in the safe. Shephard Bushiri, Malawi. Here is another African prophet on the list, and this one is native to Malawi. Bushiri has an assumed net worth of about $150 million. He reportedly owns a private jet and an airline that brings him millions of dollars annually. He has also cultivated quite the following as one of Africa's youngest and wealthiest pastors. He once took his family and some of his church members on the prophetic cruise on a yacht worth a private university duly named after him, Shephard Bushiri International University. He owns about 4 private jets, each worth an average price of about $37 million. He got 3 of these within 2 years. He has got his followers hooked on some idea that he is a mysterious human who has once walked on the air and healed an HIV patient. Such repeated works of miracles have earned him more than 100,000 followers across African countries, all hoping to become rich by sowing large amounts of money into his bank account to reap the rewards in the grand scheme of God. He won't take the money to heaven except in a casket made of golden coins. David Oyedepo, Nigeria. Up next, we have to look at one of Africa's richest pastors, David Oyedepo. He is a cohort of Kenneth Copeland and the #1 faith preacher in Africa. Oyedepo is also known for his affiliations with prominent names like Enoch Adebayo, Jesse Duplantis, and Paul Adefarasin. Adefarasin even calls him Daddy in the Lord. Oyedepo is a leading proponent of the prosperity gospel. This gospel encourages people to give their income as tithes, seeds, and prophetic offerings to the church. Followers are promised miraculous financial returns through faith and confession. If you follow this path, you might make yourself a millionaire just by confessing and believing it in front of your mirror. He is also a renowned motivational speaker and a champion of hard work. He encourages people to work hard, especially after paying their tithe and sowing their seed. Oyedepo owns Africa's most expensive private university. The cost of attending this university is so high that many impoverished church members cannot afford it. He also owns 4 private jets, including a $30 million Gulfstream 5. His jet collection features a Bombardier Challenger aircraft and 2 other Gulfstream planes. His overall net worth exceeds $150 million. He also drives a Mercedes-Benz C-Class worth about $52,000. Oyedepo lives on a vast estate of approximately 530 acres. This property also houses the headquarters of his church. His church is worth close to $1 billion at home and abroad. Though he is growing older, he has not lost any of his energy or influence. Kenneth Copeland, USA. Kenneth Copeland is the world's richest pastor today. He is perhaps one of the most controversial figures in recent years. The internet surely won't forget when he attempted to blow away the rapidly spreading COVID-19 with just his mouth, an action that perhaps thrilled his followers. Copeland is proud of a massive $20 million Gulfstream 5 jet, formerly owned by Hollywood star Tyler Perry. Before acquiring this jet, he went on a rant stating how he could no longer ride commercial flights with demons. Yep, he means you and me when we are stacked up like sardines in the economy class of an aircraft. What business does he have that brings him so much money? The first piece of business is the church, but Copeland has several companies, including a private jet leasing agency. This man raised funds in record time for building a personal hangar and upgrading the runway at a mini little airport where his jets take off whenever he has some of the Lord's work to do. The man used to be a trending musical artist and a pilot prophet who suddenly found God and owned several private jets and a $6.3 million lakefront mansion. The exact amount of his worth is unknown, but it is rumored to be at least $400 million to $750 million. Alf Lukau, South Africa. Hey guys, this is Pastor Alf Lukau, rumored to be the richest pastor in the world with a net worth of about $1 billion. How does this man live a celebrity life with an endless source of income? Look at that over $12,000 diamond-crusted Rolex watch. I bet he uses it to check the time and hour Jesus would return. He pastors a church called Alleluia Ministries International, which has tens of thousands of members in branches across South Africa, Zambia, Namibia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, Europe, and even South America. For him, it's all one big tree whose fruit is money, and it blooms every Sunday. He reportedly has a private jet, albeit old, where he spends quiet time with God before preaching overseas. He also owns luxury cars that most pop stars can only dream of. I'm talking about a customized limited edition Rolls-Royce, a 2022 Range Rover worth over $100,000, a Bentley, and a Mercedes-Benz. Man's a real gearhead for luxury car brands, a man of high taste with questionable gains from thousands of poor church members who don't even own a bicycle. These people are not the only ones to be stinking rich. I once made a video on some popular African leaders who live luxurious lives beyond imagination. Click the video displayed on your screen to find out.